Hey, my wonderful beauties, a pleasant morning to you. You know, beautiful people, I was listening to a pastor saying something that I think people need to go back to the basics. You know, there was a song sung by it's a man or a group. Anyway, we need to get back to the basics of life. It's not just about Christian, non-Christian. It's a serious hypothesis. It's a serious theorem. A saying that's real. I call it the proverbial proverb. And that is why we're having a lot of domestic violence, unaliving, you know, murder or whatever you want to call it, in relationships today. Decadence. Because of this word dating. And when I say dating, I don't mean you go for two little drink and you sit down and you laugh and everybody puts on a show. Proper probing dating. And I'm not saying that to go like Inspector Gadget or whatever it is, but you have to go on with your spectacles, so to speak. You have to see the person for who he or she is. We live in a broken world. We live in a world of pretense, make-believe, facade, fake, false. I am so surprised. I don't know why, but I am. I can't pretend that I'm not. The level of fake and false, how pretentious people can be, even in relationships, whether it's their marriages, fiance, girlfriend, boyfriend, regular platonic friendships. People are so fake. People are so fake. People are so fake. And they will put on a show. You know, I was watching something last evening on TikTok. Two people doing a match. And the guy was really, really disturbed by the girl. She seemed, look at me when I looked at the girl, nice looking girl. I don't know if she's she's joking around or she's really mentally disturbed. And, you know, she seemed to be using her words, throwing herself at the guy. And he really didn't like it, you know. And, you know, when she said that, I wish I had, like she was saying something like she said, I wish I had money to give. And he said, what is it, baby? Switch automatically. And I said, you know, this is the reality of what people are facing now. When they see that they can benefit, they literally become a chameleon. You know, as a chameleon goes on a particular color, it changes to that right away almost. And I said, you just said you can't stand a girl. Wish I could get you out of my screen. But because you're doing a match to earn. And she said something in which you would benefit financially or materially. Quickly you changed from calling her crazy to baby. That is what I'm talking about. These are the kinds of people around. They're wearing masks. They're pretentious. They're fake. They're false. That's why you probably see so many people having diseases and illnesses. Because the secrecy that they're holding, the pretense that they're holding, you know, they're imploding. Because you can only pretend so much and no more. I don't know. Isn't it exhausting? Let me tell you something, man. When you have to be diplomatic, as they say, for example, you work somewhere and somebody may be your boss or manager or whatever it is, and I'm not talking specifically where they may not necessarily be nice or kind or generous, and you have to put on diplomacy. You're not going to be toe-to-toeing and arguing and behaving in unseeming ways with your boss. No, you're not. And you have to just put on the smile, and even that is exhausting. Like sometimes you just want to get in your fleshly way and just say, listen, don't smile with me. I don't want to smile with me. I know you talk to me. You can't do that. I understand that's a little different. You may have to just use diplomacy there. Because even if the person is not for you and not good, you don't have to, because you don't want to, you know, anger eats away the bones. And I'm talking rage, you know. So you don't want to affect you because you want to, you say, I don't want to be false and fake. Sometimes I think we're being ridiculous. You know, we should display bad behavior to say that this is us and we're trying to be true to ourselves. Bad behavior is not true to yourself. You have a brokenness within that needs fix. The glass is broken. You can't drink from it because it won't cut you up. I don't have to be rude to you. Similarly, I don't have to befriend you. But I don't have to be unkind to you. You know what I mean? That won't disturb your equilibrium. That will actually help it. But people are fake. Date. Even friendships. You think dating is only in terms of romantic? Date. Get to know people. Go out because people will display themselves because they're relaxed. and you can only pretend so much. And something you're going to say, something you're going to do, there's something that, you know, and the person watches you. Don't just go on a one-off. You keep that in your back pocket, and then the next back pocket, and the front and the two front. Once the two front pockets them fill, back you say, okay, I know that these red flags, them two red, and they're strangling and choking the green flags. I can't handle this. This kind of burden, or these burdens, they're not for me. I see a problem here, but you do it over time. Engage the person in conversation, allow them feel comfortable, talk to them, stare them in the eye. Not stare as in, no, you look them in the eyes with respect, with honor. You know how to soften the eyes and how to look intently, but not like you're invading, like you're making them in. You can feel when people are doing that, you know, when they're giving you that look, because maybe they don't know. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt to say maybe you don't know. You feel like giving them a tough look, or you're just being fake and pretentious, trying to seek some kind of whatever it is. Date, not just in a romantic sense, platonic relationships. Don't just get up and say this person is your friend. Don't just get up and say, oh, this is my boyfriend, this is my girlfriend, this is my fiance, this is my husband, this is my wife. No. People are pretentious. I have never seen pretense like what I'm seeing now. Sometimes I say to myself, how do they sleep at nights doing this? It's so bad. My conscience would really unalive me, so to speak. It would get on them. I don't do it. I endeavor not to do it. What I will do is that if I know that somebody is not for me, or there's something off about that person, I limit, you know, the communication. I don't have to be discourteous. I don't have to be disrespectful or treat them with disdain, but I limit it so that we don't have a false connection going. Because they're going to sense it. Light and darkness cannot mix. Oil and water cannot mix. If somebody is not of God and somebody is, you know, and when I say that, I'm not talking about a Christian going to a non-Christian. I'm talking about the spirit that is associated and attached, you know, a sort of Jezebel spirit that is attached. Because not every non-Christian a Jezebel spirit is attached, or not all Christians a Jezebel spirit is attached to. And there is a difference. Because look at the disciples that Jesus called. These were not Christian men. Bad men. They may man here today would have some serious bodyguards, you know what I mean? You couldn't joke with them, but yet God saw their heart. He knew them. He knew them. Versus the Sadducees, the Pharisees, the Zealots, and the Scribes. He didn't call any of those. There's a difference. Get to know people. Why you think God's a lot of people don't understand the discipleship of God. Yes, he wanted to transform them, but he also wanted people to know the importance of getting to know people. Get to know, date. I don't care if it's a friend or it's romantic, or it's platonic or it's romantic. Date for a while. This rush thing, no. Because people know how to put on a show. A man got married to a woman, you know, 3 years after the marriage, and confessed to the woman that he's in the alphabet crew. The woman, poor woman, devastated. She didn't, maybe she saw red flags, but not something that maybe jogged, you know, kind of would really pull the horn. She said, no man, what is it with this man? Because maybe he really hid it well and covered it well, properly with a gauge, you know, not just band-aid. And she just, you know, she probably felt something, maybe the energy. She starts thinking it's her. 3 years later, can you imagine that? That's horrible. He's evil as far as I'm concerned. Came into the on false pretense. Now she, you know, because time would have passed and they would have consummated the marriage. I don't know how they should annul that marriage, make it seem as if she was not married. That's because he came under false pretense. Because he would not have turned that overnight or in 3 years. That would have been something brewing. Whether it's the first time he tried it in marriage or whatever it is, it would have been something brewing. People are fake. People will have friendships for many years and they hate the person and they call themselves best friends. People be in marriages and they're misogynists or misandrous, they hate each other, but they only got married because of things, material things or associations, but them really hate. Get to know people. Date. date and date deep, long, and watch, then pray. Guys, you know what to do. Read TikTok and YouTube. Subscribe. Give me one of them lines. No.